HoonTV!
Oh wow, I put a new memory card in this. The 4 tabs welded on, and I've gone and cleaned up the rad support panel. I've also got in there, I got a hole saw and I put a hole here and here and here and here, and then sort of trimmed that back in there. It's all going to get powder coated, so it'll look much prettier than it is. But just a bit of weight saving here and here. Still super strong, and doesn't really need to hold much anyway because it's got bonnet pins which are up here, so that's just basically a bonnet catch if anything. The other day, thanks to Robbie in his shop, he let me use his gear, and I folded this sort of finisher panel which hides the radiator and intercooler and stuff like that. It makes it all neat and tidy, plus a nice big spot here for like a big logo or something like that, maybe a horsepower junkie or something like that. And then I've just got these Zeus fasteners from Ash at Bullant. Yeah, they're just sort of dummied up in there at the moment. It's just a bit loose at the moment because they're just loose fitted, nothing's riveted, and just using the Cleco fasteners to hold them in just to make sure everything lines up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that so far. Sort of trying to avoid looking at the nasty stuff that I'll have to redo, but pretty much ready to pull this back off again, pull the rad support out, and I'm at the point where I'm going to pull the engine out. Probably going to send that turbo manifold back to 6 boost now because it's pretty much ready for them to do their thing. And then yeah, basically just sort of get on to the point of getting things done, and then yeah, we can move on to the next step. So and that for me is to fix up this here, which is where I've cut in there to relieve for the turbo, and then in the back corner there where I've relieved it for the engine plate. So those 2 things are pretty important. And on top of that as well, I made up this at Robbie's the other day. It's only thin aluminium, but it's just a catch, like a belly pan, sort of massive, but it sort of encapsulates everything there. Comes up to the front of the cross member here, and then that's for the exhaust to go past and stuff like that, and then goes basically to the engine plate, which is great. That's going to go in there with 4 Zeus fasteners, which will go in the corners here and at the back, maybe a 3rd one in the middle, just depending on how flimsy it is. I do have enough there to go around. And then in the front of the cross member there, I'm going to make like a sheet with just like a Z fold in it, sort of up at the front and down at the back, which will go in there. And maybe even if I do it out of like really thin sheet steel, it can just be welded into the cross member and be part of it. So lots to do, but I'm pretty happy with that and happy to get this rad support done. Once I've got the other bits done and that, I'm actually going to put a tow hook into the front of it so that it's got somewhere to properly tow off when you're actually pulling it onto the trailer, and then maybe even some proper tie down hooks because the factory ones are pretty rubbish. So yeah, lots happening, so cool. Moving forward, I've got that cage in there now. It's basically raw steel, so as you can see, a couple of days in, and I kind of left this like this intentionally. Didn't want it to like fully rust up, but I'm pretty much catching it right now before it goes any further. As you can see, if you don't seal up a cage straight away, it rusts pretty damn quick, and that's half the battle that I think Robbie has at the workshop of doing all this raw material work, of making sure everything's all sealed up quickly so it doesn't rust, and yeah, getting the job done quickly and properly. I mean, obviously properly being like, look at those super nice welds. Yeah, so what I'm going to do right now is I've got some of this, which is deoxidizer basically. I'm going to put some of that on a rag. I've got, and thanks for the comment, somebody before complained at me for not wearing gloves. I do have nitrile gloves here. I'll put some of that on a rag and just wet it down, let it soak in, and then hit it with this Scotch-Brite that I picked up from Burson Auto Parts yesterday. So get in there, give it a clean up, wipe it all down nice, and then what I've got is some drop sheets, which I'm considering repainting the whole interior of the car anyway, but I'm going to put drop sheets in so I don't get overspray and crap everywhere. Just tape them all into place and then just mask up around the areas that need to be painted. It's going to be a bit tricky up in the top there, but it needs to be done, so it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it and try not to get overspray everywhere. But there, and then I've got some just black etch primer, so I'll just get in there, etch prime it. Job one is to get in there and scrub it all down, bring it back to clean metal, sort of like that, and then we'll make it black for now so it doesn't rust.